It was November 1995, inside Kensington Palace. Diana clutched the DNA documents, her hands trembling. At first, her goal was simple. She wanted to silence the endless rumors about Prince Harry's parentage and prove once and for all that he was Charles's son. But the truth in these papers was even more shocking, something the royal family had managed to hide for 11 years. Diana discovered that her son Harry had been born as one of a pair. The revelation of a lost twin, wiped from history, left her completely stunned. This revelation began with a series of troubling events. 3 weeks earlier, anonymous notes started appearing at the palace, 4 in total. Each one was mysterious and urgent, repeating the same plea: have the DNA tested. The real truth awaited. Diana believed the notes pointed to the persistent rumors about James Hewitt and Harry's paternity. She completely misunderstood what they really meant. Patrick Morrison, her private secretary, grew uneasy as the tension rose. "Ma'am, this could be a setup. Requesting DNA might make you seem unstable." But Diana stood firm. For her, protecting Harry from the relentless rumors was more important than any risk. She reached out to Dr. Sarah Mitchell, her confidante and personal physician, insisting on complete secrecy. "Arrange a DNA analysis for Harry. Trust must be absolute. No palace staff involved, and no traceable records." Dr. Mitchell took care of everything, working quietly with a discreet facility in Switzerland. Klaus Vera, a renowned expert in genetics, would personally oversee the process. Samples were collected with the greatest care, then quickly and quietly transported to Zurich for testing. For Diana, the next 2 weeks passed with agonizing slowness, filled with anxious anticipation and questions she couldn't quiet. Deep down, she knew there was no question Charles was Harry's father. The timeline left little room for doubt, yet the warnings in those unsigned letters refused to leave her mind. Then, on November 18, 1995, a plain brown parcel arrived, stamped from Switzerland. Alone in her study, Diana carefully broke the seal. The first page was straightforward: paternity established between Prince Henry Charles Albert David and Prince Charles Philip Arthur George, a 99.9% match. The document silenced every rumor. Harry was, without a doubt, Charles's son. Relief washed over her, but there was more. Tucked behind the summary were pages filled with dense genetic data. Diana almost ignored them, already feeling satisfied, but then she spotted a short note clipped to page 4. It was written in Dr. Vera's own handwriting. "Dr. Mitchell, urgent review advised. These findings are highly irregular." A wave of anxiety swept over Diana as she began to read the detailed report. Her pulse quickened, wondering what else might be uncovered. Unfamiliar scientific terms jumped off the page: chimeric DNA, vanishing twin syndrome, genetic markers hinting at something more. Diana paused, her eyes scanning the words again. The report's analysis was clear, but almost unbelievable. Harry had 2 distinct genetic signatures. His DNA showed that he had absorbed genetic material from a second fetus. The recommendation was immediate review, any medical history related to twin pregnancies as soon as possible. Confusion and disbelief flooded her thoughts. A twin pregnancy, could it really be true? Had Harry once shared the womb with another? Shaken, Diana grabbed her phone and called Dr. Mitchell right away. "Sarah, what are these results telling us? Is it true? Did Harry have a twin?" Sarah replied with care, her voice steady but laced with concern. "Diana, I need to look at that report. Please bring it to my office right away." Within the hour they met. Dr. Mitchell studied the pages with care, her expression growing darker with every line. "The diagnosis was staggering: vanishing twin syndrome," she explained. "In some pregnancies, twins form, but one is lost and absorbed, sometimes so early it goes unnoticed. The surviving child can then carry genetic traces from both siblings." Diana's voice shook. "Are you telling me I carried twins and never realized?" Mitchell replied gently, "Yes, it's entirely possible you wouldn't have known. If the absorption happened very early, it might never show up on any scan. But there's something odd in this report, Diana." She paused, then continued. "The genetic markers suggest the absorption didn't happen in those first few weeks. It looks like it occurred later, at a point when ultrasound should have clearly shown 2 fetuses. Your medical team should have noticed." A chill washed over Diana. "All my prenatal care was managed by palace doctors. Every scan, every appointment, they handled everything. Are you suggesting they knew there were twins?" Mitchell nodded soberly. "Based on these genetic findings, it looks like the twin pregnancy lasted beyond the first trimester. 2 babies would have been visible. Any doctor reviewing those scans would have known." Diana stood up suddenly and started pacing, her thoughts racing. "So where is the other baby, Sarah? If Harry had a twin, what happened to the second child?" "Dr. Bodes, imam senor kacha respals right child. Dr. Risenor scorch, nufta parm snaf." Dr. Respaus Child, 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 Dr. Respaus Mitchell explained, usually with vanishing twin syndrome, the other fetus is either reabsorbed or miscarried, sometimes so quietly that no one even notices. But Diana, if your palace doctors saw signs of twins and only one baby was born, they knew the truth and they hid it from you. A wave of anger surged through Diana. She realized she had spent months believing she was carrying just one child, while those trusted with her care kept quiet. Harry was born, and no one ever told her there'd been another baby. Fueled by outrage and disbelief, she immediately left for Buckingham Palace. There, she confronted Dr. Anthony Whitmore, the senior royal physician during her pregnancy. Her demand was clear and unwavering. Dr. Whitmore, I want to see the full set of my medical records from when I was expecting Harry. All of them. Dr. Whitmore's face turned unreadable, carefully neutral. He hesitated for a moment. I'd need to retrieve those from the archives. May I ask why you're requesting them? Diana didn't pause. Because I just learned I was pregnant with twins, and somehow no one told me. Whitmore paled. That is confidential medical information. But Diana cut him off. It's my body, my pregnancy, my children. You will tell me everything. Caught off guard, Whitmore glanced at the door, clearly nervous. Perhaps we should discuss this in private. They retreated to his office, and he locked the door behind them. How did you come by this information? He asked. Diana answered simply. A DNA test, for Harry. She pressed on, her tone sharp and unwavering. The lab found evidence of 2 sets of genetic material. Let me ask you again what happened to my other child, Doctor. Whitmore's composure slipped as he sank into a chair. You were in fact pregnant with twins. The 12-week ultrasound showed 2 heartbeats, 2 developing fetuses. Both looked healthy at that time. Diana's voice trembled. So what changed? He answered calmly. By 16 weeks, 1 fetus had stopped developing. The second heartbeat was gone. With twins, this isn't uncommon sometimes. One doesn't survive. Hearing this, Diana's hands began to tremble. And you kept this from me? She asked. Whitmore admitted. After discussions with palace officials, the medical team decided not to tell you. You were already under immense stress about the pregnancy. We thought it was best to spare you more heartbreak. Our focus was on the baby that was doing well. Diana's voice shook. You made decisions about my life and my children without including me? He replied gently. We were trying to protect you. Diana fixed him with an icy stare. Shield me, or shield the royal image. She stood, cutting him off. Where is my other baby? Dr. Whitmore. He tried to explain. The fetus was absorbed, a condition called vanishing twin syndrome. But Diana, her voice rising, rejected his clinical words. She wanted truth, not medical jargon. Her voice, raw with grief, broke the silence. Was my baby alive at 16 weeks, and then just gone? Dr. Whitmore looked down at the floor. Both fetuses were progressing well, but at the 16-week scan, 1 heartbeat was missing, and there was no longer a fetus visible. The tissue had already been reabsorbed. Diana's tone turned sharp. Let me see the scans. He hesitated, but she pressed on. Show me the images or I go public. I'll tell the world the palace covered up the loss of my child. Reluctantly, Whitmore reached for an old folder. He slid ultrasound pictures onto the desk. This is from 12 weeks, he said. Diana stared at the grainy photo. 2 distinct shapes appeared, 2 vibrant, pulsing heartbeats. Her baby's unmistakably alive. Then he pointed to another image. Here is the 16-week scan. This time, only 1 baby, Harry, stood out. The second space was now empty. Diana's whisper was barely audible. Where did the other go? With a gentle sigh, Whitmore answered softly. The tissue becomes part of the uterine lining or is absorbed by the surviving twin. This happens in up to 30% of twin pregnancies. Diana's eyes glistened as she looked up. Did you inform Charles? Whitmore hesitated, then admitted. The medical team did speak with Prince Charles. Yes, he was told. The realization hit her hard. Charles knew she was carrying twins. Charles knew one had died, and still no one told her. We made what we believed was the right call, Whitmore offered gently, but Diana was unrelenting. You chose to hide the truth from me for more than a decade. For 11 years, I believed I only had one child, never knowing I had lost another. Her hand trembled as she clutched the ultrasound images. You might call these palace property, but they are the first pictures of my children and I'm keeping them. With the scans in hand, Diana strode out, her thoughts swirling. Once in her car, she called Dr. Sarah Mitchell. Sarah, it was always there. They knew I was carrying twins at 12 weeks. One baby's life ended at 16 weeks, and no one told me. Sarah's response was gentle, her voice heavy with sorrow. Oh, Diana, I am so sorry. Is it normal for a twin to just disappear like that at 16 weeks? Diana pressed. There was a pause. Such losses can happen naturally. But Diana, I sense what you're really asking. Are you wondering if something else happened? Could it have been helped along? Diana asked quietly. Sarah spoke carefully. At 16 weeks, a fetus has developed quite a bit. For one to just vanish with no complications, no bleeding, and no need for doctors, it's rare, though not impossible. To say if something else was involved, I'd have to review your full medical records from that time. All of them, Sarah. Not just the files they let you see today, every single record. That evening, sleep wouldn't come. Diana sat alone, ultrasound images in her hands, a haunting reminder of everything that had been kept from her. The stark truth, 2 lives, with one lost gnawed at her. She'd never had the chance to grieve. Driven by the need for answers, she picked up her phone and dialed Patrick Morrison. Patrick, I need to hire someone, a discreet investigator, someone who can trace medical information without attracting attention. What's the goal? Patrick asked softly. I want the full truth about my pregnancy in 1984 when I was expecting Harry. Soon, Marcus Webb arrived at Kensington Palace. He was a former detective, known for his discretion and determination. At midnight, in Diana's study, she laid everything before him: the genetic test, old sonogram photographs, and fragments of her medical history. What should I be searching for? Marcus asked, watching her carefully. Diana met his gaze without hesitation. I need to know if my baby died naturally, or if someone intervened. Marcus didn't show even a hint of disbelief. You think the palace may have ended the life of one twin? Diana's voice was steady but filled with pain. I believe they realized I was expecting twins. Then, out of nowhere, there was only one. No one told me anything. I just want to understand why. Marcus examined every piece of evidence, carefully planning his next move. Getting to the bottom of this won't be easy. The palace keeps its medical records locked tight, but there are always people who remember: nurses, technicians, those who saw parts of what happened. Give me 2 weeks. He returned in just 10 days, bringing news Diana both hoped for and feared. I found 3 staff members from your prenatal team back in 1984. Each one remembered back then you were expecting healthy twins. At 16 weeks, you were sedated for what they called a complicated ultrasound. When you came to, the scans showed only one child. A wave of nausea swept over Diana. She pressed him. So what happened while I was under anesthesia? Marcus answered. The ultrasound technician was asked to leave. 40 minutes passed, and when you woke up, there was only one fetus. A devastating truth started to settle in. They did something while I was unconscious, Diana whispered. Marcus then produced a worn document, a confidential palace memo, dated June 1984. It reads, Her Majesty advised on Princess's twins' notes on complications and concerns about succession with 2 possible heirs. The recommendation, selective reduction. It also states there's no need to inform the princess. Staring at the damning note, Diana's voice trembles with horror. My baby was lost because they found it inconvenient. Without hesitation, Diana calls for a meeting. Sir Robert Fellows soon arrives, Dr. Whitmore at his side. Diana lays out every piece of evidence: DNA analysis, ultrasound images, the investigator's dossier, and the confidential palace memo. Her voice remains unyielding. I've put the pieces together. You ended one of my pregnancies without my knowledge or consent while I was sedated. Sir Robert and Dr. Whitmore exchanged tense glances. Robert spoke up cautiously. That's a serious accusation. Diana interrupted him firmly. This isn't an accusation, it's a fact. The color drained from Robert's face. What is it you want? She answered without hesitation. A sealed admission of what happened and full custody of Harry and William. If you refuse, I'll take this story public. 3 weeks went by before the response arrived, an official confession from the Royal Medical Staff, along with a confidential contract. In exchange for her silence, Diana was granted sole custody, her children's future secured. She never revealed the truth to Harry while he was growing up. Diana planned to tell him everything when he turned 18, but her life ended before she had the chance. The secret was meant to die with her at least. That's what the palace hoped. Years later, Harry, now a father himself, began exploring his family's medical history through genetic testing. The results revealed undeniable signs, evidence of a vanished twin. Harry called William, his voice filled with disbelief. "Did you know I was supposed to have a twin?" For a moment, William said nothing. His silence said it all. Their mother, Diana, had left documents sealed for her sons until they both turned 30. Inside those pages, the whole devastating truth was revealed. Harry spoke again, his words heavy with hurt. "Why did you keep this from me?" William answered softly, with honest sincerity. "Because the truth changes everything. I didn't know if you were ready." Left alone, Harry opened his mother's letter. He read each line, her story of pregnancy, decisions made when she felt powerless, the secrets, her anger, and her heartbreak. Diana's pain echoed in every word. Near the end, she wrote, "Harry, you had a twin, a brother or a sister. The palace took that child from you before you could ever meet. I tried to stop it, but I failed. I couldn't save them, but I made sure the same thing could never happen to you or to William. My only weapon was the truth. Forgive me for not telling you myself. Forgive me for letting you find out this way, but you were always meant to know. Life denied you a twin at your side. The palace made sure of it. Don't let them take anything else from you." Now, Harry sits with this knowledge, the loss of a sibling he never knew, a missing piece of himself, finally revealed. That lost twin, erased from history by palace decree, was both a deep wound and a turning point. In her final act of courage, Diana used the secret the monarchy worked so hard to hide. She wielded it as a shield to protect her surviving son. The truth was monstrous, not because of violence, but because of how it was kept hidden. Sometimes the worst betrayals are quietly recorded in hospital charts. The DNA evidence Diana held close put one rumor to rest: Harry was indeed Charles's son. But beneath that comfort was a much sharper reality. To the palace, protecting the royal bloodline was more important than the life of a single child. For 11 years, Diana carried a grief she was never able to name or truly understand. One twin erased, one birth denied, a secret that was almost forgotten but would linger, destined to haunt anyone brave enough to uncover it.